Hi. Okay, so we're getting ready to do our top, and then I hope you kept your handles and the little pieces that attach it to the top, because as soon as we get this decorated, we're going to go ahead and put our handle on. And then I'm going to show you, since I made the mistake of having us go ahead and decorate the inside, I'm going to show you how we can hide those. The brats, once we get them in here. We went ahead and put a whole new piece in here, which won't hurt it. And you can do that here if you want to. It's just, this is a big piece of paper, and so I don't want to use it up. So let's go ahead and work on decorating this top. It's actually quite easy. Now, when I measured this, at least on the two sides, this is the picture I want to use. There's 3/4 excess, so I'm going to go ahead and get my cutting scoreboard out. And I'm going to cut off 3/4 of an inch on one side. And I want to make sure I do it right, because I have been known to not cut the right amount out. Okay, there's my 3 1/4, and I'm going to shut that. There we go. And I'm going to save that because that looks like that could be kind of fun for something else. So I'm going to, and I do, I save a lot of my scraps. I save an awful lot of my scraps. Okay, so in order to do the next side, I'm going to go ahead and leave myself a little black on this side, and this is how we tick papers. So right at the edge, I don't really want to tick that. You can, but I want to make sure that when I cut it a little bit on the other side of that tick mark. So let's go ahead and I actually, there we go. Oops, it slipped. Okay, now I can hold it on this side. Oh yes, and I'm going to save that too, because that's really kind of cool. So then I'm going to do the same thing on this. I think we're going to pretty much... Okay, what I will do is I'm going to put it even with my top, and I'm going to make a little mark, and then I'm going to measure it and divide it in half, and that is only 1 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ooh, that's a little bit more sticky. I'm going to take off just a little bit more than 1/2 inch, not quite 5/8, but just a little bit more than 1/2 inch. And then again, I will lay this on here, and I'm going to put a tick mark. You can put it at the end where you want it, but just remember you want to cut 1/8 of an inch in. So my tick mark, okay, there it is. It's hard to see them sometimes when you get them down here. So my tick mark is actually at 3/4. I'm going to move it just to about 7/8. I'm going to hold it tight. There we go. And again, before I go ahead and even smudge these or glue them in, I'm going to check and make sure yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and smudge this big piece of paper that I have, and then we will put our handle on. And I'm doing quite a bit of ink. You can see I've laid my my burnisher, my smudger over just a little bit, and it's making the sides just a little bit dark, like they're antiqued a little bit. And I'm going to do a little bit more in my corners so that it really looks antique-y. I am really having a blast with this. I like this garden box. It's one of my favorite projects to make. Okay, so next I want to go ahead and put glue on the entire back part of this. I like glue. I use quite a bit of it. I don't probably use as much as some people do, but I use enough so that it'll smush the paper down and get it pretty well stuck. Okay, and yeah. So I'm going to try very hard. Before I press it down, I'm going to kind of get it in place. And then once I think it's in place, then I'll push a little bit with my hands, and the warmth of your hand will go ahead and make that stick. But then also, I'm going to open my entire box and put my hand, I'm going to push here. So I'm supporting it right there, and I move my hand as I move my burnishing tool. I'm using my fingers now. And that's just so that the chipboard doesn't crack or give way. Oh, that is looking really nice. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and mark where we want to put our handles. And the first thing we want to do is make sure we have all of our parts. You should have your handle, you should have your 2 attachment pieces, and you should have 2 brads. So I want to get my ruler out, and the first measurement I want to do is I want to do 1.5 inches from the bottom here. So I'm going to make a little line, and I'll erase a lot of this afterwards. And then I'm going to do 3 3/8 from this side, and I'm going to mark it. And I'm going to check. It should be about 3 3/8. Yeah, that's about perfect. Okay, so since I have that one, now be very careful with your awl. The awl is extremely sharp on the edge. I'm going to open this, and I'm going to put this is a throwaway chipboard that I use to punch my holes. I'm going to put that there and try and make sure that I have my fingers kind of away from this hole. I'm going to find where these 2 lines overlap, and I'm just lightly going to put a small hole there, and I drop this. Now I'm going to go ahead and push my awl the whole way through. There we go. So that will be the first one. So we pretty much want to do the same thing on the other side. And so that means we're going to mark 1.5 inches from this side, just like we did the other side. And then 3 3/8, I'm going to start on this side since that was the first one. 3 3/8 from this side. Okay. And again, I'm going to get my little throwaway chipboard, put it under there, and right where those 2 lines intersect, I'm going to put a small hole. I'll move that, and then I will be very careful. You can see it kind of gives. There we go. Okay, so we have our 2 holes. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your D-ring on one of them, like that, okay? And then you want to go ahead and put your brad through both sides of that, and then we want to put it in one of the holes. And you'll have to support it as you turn it on the other side. Now I'm not going to press it really tight because I want to be able to swivel this around and get it in place. So I'm just going to kind of open these so that they don't, it doesn't fall out. And so then you're going to do the same thing with the second one. You're going to go ahead and put your attachment piece through your D hook, and then you're going to use your brad, and then we're going to push that brad through the hole on the other side, and you can kind of see your handle pokes up. Now hold that brad in place and go ahead and open it. I'm having a rough time seeing. One side of the brad, one side of the brad is longer than the other, which if you can see that, then you know which way to start pushing your brads apart. And this one is very close. I'm having a hard time. There we go. I got them separated. And so then I'm going to push that down, and I'm going to check it, make sure it's kind of straight. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to tighten these down pretty well. And I'm going to do the same to this side. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, looks good. So then you'll use either your masking tape, just a small piece, or your score tape, and you'll cover this. Now, if you know what ephemera is, I will get a piece out and show you an example of what ephemera is. Or if you have stickers or something that you think would fit over this, you're welcome to use those. And this is my mistake. If you make this again, try to remind yourself not to decorate your paper. You're also welcome to just get another piece of decorative paper and cover over that like we did on this side. It doesn't hurt anything. If you're buying your paper though, that's a little bit hard because sometimes you only have so many sheets. I print mine so I don't have that kind of a trouble. And I am going to look in my ephemera kit that came with this. This is Victoria design paper, and she always sends ephemera that you can hand cut, and then these big pieces. But I'm going to go ahead and look and see what I have. I'm not going to do it right now because we're kind of done with that. Now, this is a very short video, but the next time when we come back, we're going to go ahead and decorate all of these flashings and the divider, and then I think we'll be ready to make our journals. And the journals are pretty much the same way to make them, it's just different sizes. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're getting a lot out of my classes, and I hope to see you again. Okay, bye-bye.